The association initially dismissed the demand for Angela's wheelchair ramp removal as a mistake. However, their concern intensified when they placed a line on the couple's house. Recognizing the seriousness of the situation, Angela and Garrett understood that they needed to take action against this unexpected demand. For a decade, Angela, Garrett, and their young daughter, Mary, enjoyed a peaceful life in their Mat Juliet residence, free from any community or housing association issues. However, on December 15, 2017, their world was rocked by a letter. Despite a decade without complaints, and Angela's wheelchair ramp going unnoticed by fellow tenants who willingly offered assistance without prompting, Angela suspected that the new president of the HOA board might be behind the complaint. Despite ignoring previous letters about her wheelchair ramp, Angela was shocked by the sudden urgent threat demanding her appearance to explain her actions or face consequences. Angela decided to take matters into her own hands and confronted the Housing Association Board regarding their demand for her to remove her wheelchair ramp. Despite the board's discomfort with her inquiry, the new president bluntly declared it unsightly, leaving Angela with no doubt about their stance. Demonstrating unwavering determination, she refused to comply with the unreasonable demand and promptly left the office, asserting her rights. The day after Angela's refusal to remove the wheelchair ramp, she received a notification from the Housing Association informing her of a lien placed on her house. The only path to its removal was compliance with the request to eliminate the ramp. With a heavy heart, Angela turned to Garrett, asking if he could bring the ramp into the house. Initially resistant, Garrett argued against complying with such an absurd demand. However, upon learning of the lien, his tone shifted. Recognizing they were effectively coerced into acceptance, that evening, Angela and Garrett convened to explore their options. Garrett advocated for a vigorous retaliation, proposing to confront the HOA head-on and even pursue legal action if necessary. However, Angela hesitated. She was wary of escalating their troubles, particularly in their home environment, aware that some HOAs could compel occupants to vacate. The couple found themselves at a crossroads, uncertain of the best course of action. They desired the reinstatement of the ramp, but dreaded the potential complexities of dealing with the housing association. Angela, feeling compelled by the circumstances, believed they had no alternative but to acquiesce to the association's demands. Rationalizing that she was the sole affected party due to the ramp, she persuaded her husband that compliance was the most prudent approach, despite foreseeing the repercussions. Despite Angela's familiarity with working from home, she found herself increasingly confined and restless. Previously accustomed to the freedom of coming and going as she pleased, she now felt constrained, dependent on someone else's presence to venture outside. The situation became increasingly intolerable, leaving Angela yearning for resolution. As weeks passed, Angela's sense of claustrophobia intensified. Despite her attempts to comply by remaining indoors, navigating her own home posed an unexpected challenge. The situation took a distressing turn when Angela received yet another email from the Housing Association. Their persistent harassment continued unabated, exacerbating her distress. As she traversed the halls, daily missives arrived accusing her of disturbing the peace. After enduring a month of incessant complaints and confinement, Angela reached her breaking point. Overwhelmed, she could bear it no longer. Fed up with the incessant grievances and the infringement upon her freedom over what she saw as a mere aesthetic issue, Angela yearned to restore her ramp and reclaim her autonomy. Seeking respite, Angela visited her next-door neighbor June, whose friendship had spanned since their move-in. Angela anticipated a comforting conversation to ease her troubled mind. As they sat together, Angela expressed her gratitude for the opportunity to visit. During their chat, they broached the topic of Angela's recent tribulations. June's demeanor shifted. Her expression grew solemn as she prepared to share something significant. June enlightened Angela, asserting that the association's demand lacked a solid foundation. She emphasized that challenging them in court would likely render their request untenable. Prompted by June's insights, Angela promptly sought legal counsel to validate her neighbor's claims. Upon returning home, her initial worry transformed into a calculated smirk. Perhaps she could turn the tables and become the adversary. All of Angela's confidence unanimously recommended a particular lawyer. Acting on their advice, she dialed his number and secured his assistance. Upon hearing Angela's account, the lawyer affirmed the validity of June's assertions. In the realm of law, evidence was paramount, and if Angela sought retribution, she needed to hit them where it hurt the most. Though the lawyer was initially unaware of the full extent of Angela's ordeal, he agreed to take on the case, though he warned her about the significant challenges ahead. Undeterred, Angela visited his office the following day with every piece of correspondence from the housing association since the issue began. As they reviewed the documents, a strategic plan began to form. The lawyer confirmed that their case was strong, with the correspondence providing compelling evidence of discrimination and the association's clear bias. Armed with this information, Angela decided to take the housing association to court. The judge expressed clear dissatisfaction with the situation, highlighting a crucial violation of the Americans with Disabilities Act, which prohibits discrimination against individuals with disabilities. Consequently, the judge ordered the association to resign the lien on Angela's property and to compensate her for the suffering they had caused. With the awarded compensation, Angela devised a powerful act of retaliation. She used the funds to purchase the new president's state-of-the-art apartment, effectively turning the tables on those who had sought to oppress her.